Hello, folks. This is Old Truth speaking again. Yeah, wow. But on the serious note, the latest statistics, just murder statistics, should I say, just came out for Chicago again. I know. Every weekend with Chicago, you have a sort of like a body count, and this is ridiculous. Now, I'm just going to go into this a little bit. Now, we've had this a few years back, and it just not stopped. It's just continuing on. And I'm going to tell you just what I heard a man, a well-educated gentleman, man of color, said. He was on a ACLU documentary. How long do you think this is going to, these people are going to put up with this? We're existing totally off credit. They're crying about the prisons being overcrowded now. What do you think going to happen if Donald Trump is elected president? Business as usual? Still murdering when it, don't you know that they're going to send you to for-profit prisons. Prisons created by the CCA, but they had to have government approval. This is the result of these so-called democratic policies that 98% of most Negroes vote for. Right down the doggone rabbit hole of this worthlessness. Do you understand me? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not making this clear enough. Let me explain, give you just a few small statistics. Over the weekend, from Friday to Sunday morning, you had 44 people shot and 7 people that were killed. Do you understand that? I'm sorry, 42 people that were shot and 7 people that were killed. Actually, it's a little more, but well, we're going to do the specifics later. The latest was at 8:35 a.m. Sunday morning. A 32-year-old man, this is on the south side of Chicago, was found slipped over the steering wheel. A bullet hole in the chest and head. I mean, then later on the south side, they had found a 34, a 32, and a 34-year-old man in a Brenner area, I think I'm pronouncing that right, neighborhood in South Chicago, on a porch, shot to death. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. I mean, just murder and rampage. And one person, it was a 17-year-old kid, 17-year-old, just walking down the block. They said a car pulled up and shot him in the back. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. They're shooting each other because somebody sneezed at you or somebody had their hat on the wrong way. Really? I mean, really? We have been marching for 150 years. Let me tell you something. We have not moved one iota. We have not progressed at all. Dr. King's dream is a nightmare, following the Democratic Party right down the rabbit hole. And did Negroes want to vote for Hillary Clinton again? And she outright told you about her husband?
Well, I'll put him over the economy because he's good at that.
Really? Is this how we're thinking? And then you have certain segments of the African American population that want to fight for reparations. You know, I'm talking too fast. For black people? We know you were kidnapped and brought here. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that drugs mysteriously appeared in black neighborhoods like Chicago and New York back in the. We know that. Some of us even know how they got there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know. Let's not bring up Chicago on that or New York. We already know. But black people have took certain things and made it worse these last 20 years. Did you know for out of 150 years of freedom? Okay, let's go back to the 1865 when the Emancipation Proclamation. We know that there were 4 million blacks. about 300,000 were free. At that point, we had less than 1/2 of 1% of American wealth. Here we are, 150 years later, and we still have less than 1/2 of 1% of America's wealth. We have not moved one iota.
Oh, we've made great advances.
Listen to some of these so-called self-appointed civil rights leaders. Right down the doggone rabbit hole. If Donald Trump become president, you could hang that up. Because Donald Trump gonna knock something out. Do you understand me? He's gonna knock a hole in these neighborhoods. That man is off the chain. And a lot of the things he said, I agree with. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for, because at this point it's just ridiculous. Now look, we are being buried, black people and white people. We are all being buried under an unending stream of immigrants. It has been said that 99.1% of this certain Middle Eastern group believe in Sharia law. People are bringing their beliefs with them. Now, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just telling you, this is what you're going to have to contend with. And we are actually depopulating at a rapid rate. Black men are only 6.6% of the population. And you have way over 390 million people here. You have and Obama want to make it worse. Obama has not done one thing for black Americans. Nothing. Oh, yes, he did. He went to a meeting and said he's not the president of black America, but he didn't say that to the homosexuals. He didn't say that to the illegal immigrants. This is disastrous, man. Look at the way you're slaughtering each other and butchering each other. Even the crimes that are being committed are ridiculous. Somebody stole a car and the policeman right there in the gas station. How stupid can you get? Man, this is sad. Shooting each other down like dogs. All these murders on the South. I'll give you some more statistics on this. I said I wasn't going to be brief. The shootings have skyrocketed to 55% so far this year, and it's not even July yet. That's 1,141 people were shot so far this year. Murders in Chicago skyrocketed to 65%. 231 murders so far in Chicago. It's a death knell. They're just butchering and slaughtering each other like wild animals. You should hear how some of these other things. And besides what let me put it to you this way. Besides what some of these civil rights activists have you marching up and down for people, not one group on earth is migrating to America to join poor and oppressed black people or Hispanic. Do you understand me? That's not why these people are coming here. They're lining themselves with rich white people, or trying to. Do you understand me? That's why you have a little Havana, a little India, a little Mexico, all these, but you don't see nothing black. Everywhere you live, look like even Harlem, which was considered the black capital of the world. Look at the gentrification. You're being replaced by a low-wage workforce. But we won't pick up a book and read. You pick up a gun and kill one another for stupidness. Just somebody right down the block shot a man at a wedding for nothing. Now, even a white man just shook his head. That's 35 years plus 5 years for the gun. How stupid can you get? This is embarrassing. This is not like the black folks who were when I was growing up. What's the matter, man? Something's terribly wrong. Dr. James David Manning said, we'll be paying them, the immigrants rent, and the Mexicans will be signing our paychecks. This is terrible, man. This is horrible. This is what happened to when black people have that buck breaking mentality that was bestowed on you from the masters. Anybody ever look up buck breaking? That's it. I'm going to mention that. I'm going to do a video about that. It was a horrible, filthy, disgusting, sick, well, one thing about us, God knows we really need help. He's the only one can do. We need to repent and ask God to bless us to get into His Word, to repent and unite. Because God is the only one that can do it. Every time you had a black leader, you just didn't, he or she wound up dead, or they just ignored him altogether. You didn't even know nothing about your history or nothing. You just existed. That's it. One thing, most black people suffer from nihilism. Because you know, most of the time, when you go up there for a job, you know the chances are slim to none. I don't care what type of degree you have. You're not going to get the job right off. It's going to take you a while. You have to really go up there and sell yourself. We march up and down for integration, and look what you have. You're stuck with nothing. We've been marching for jobs and justice for 50 years, marching up and down for everybody else, and we don't have a thing. As a race, we are disappearing fast. Just look it up. Just Google it. And look at the abortion rates. You know what the percentage of black women are in America? The smallest, one of the smallest groups of all, but make up 34% of all abortions. It's ridiculous. We can't continue like we can't go on like this. Some of our neighborhoods, according to the Tuskegee Institute, poverty in the black neighborhood. I'll give you an example. In New Orleans, the poverty rate is 80%. I've told you that before. And young African Americans, the few they all left, like the teenagers from 18 on up, unemployment rate in so many people are over 54%. One neighborhood, I think it's Harlem, unemployment rate is 1 out of every 3 men are unemployed. You can't continue like this. You'll always be a servant. The greatest period of economic growth of a black man or the black family was between 1942, World War II, and ironically up to the time when we signed the Civil Rights Bill, when they signed the Civil Rights Bill. After that, just spiraled down. The whole idea was to remove the black man from the house. And that's just what happened. And look at it now. A disgrace. God help us. Because we can't, neither the country, they can't last like this. You don't have nothing. What we need now is prayer. Because God is the only one who can do it. Look at this slaughtering the innocent kids. A 5-year-old girl was shot down over the weekend. How sick. Come on now. All kind of foolish crime. One screwball went there, broke into the place, did real stupid things. I'm not going to mention it on this vid. Where the hell you going? And they just caught the clown. And I'm surprised they didn't beat the hell out of him. And I'll say it, they should have. With kids and all kind of. I was going to read something, but I'm not even going to waste my time, man. We just go on and on and on. We follow these people, like I said, right down the rabbit hole. If Donald Trump become president, it's going to be hell to pay. Chicago, Detroit, because he just don't care. It's just not going to happen. I could be wrong, but he darn sure going to give it a try. He going to wipe them neighborhoods clean. Because he's after money. Murdering kids and old ladies and old men. Man, come on now. That is embarrassing. Just lining up the prison cells, just the graveyard, the abortion clinic, and the jail cells. As we being replaced by people that can't even stand us in the first place. What's the use? God help us. He's the only one. Good night, folks.